is a respected duo.
They go with Ursa. This is a lane that should do quite well versus the ET and the Omni Knight. And also another thing is, what's really good about Omni. Saving each other or the Alchemist whenever necessary.
Once they picked the Omni, you 100% had to have another burst damage hero than just the Storm. Like Lion is lockdown and Finger is quote-unquote burst damage, but against Oracle I don't think that's really reliable because not only do you have the ult to save, but also your second spell just makes them do no magic damage. So Storm Spirit jumps one guy, Ursa jumps the other. Lion can maybe lock down the saves, but I think EG's the better team. I think they'll execute their draft better, but I fear for Na'Vi in the laning stage. Ursa's pretty damn good against Omni. Alchemist doesn't really threaten anything, so Magnus, a greedy offlaner, should have a pretty good time. Storm, even though he doesn't love playing against Ember in the mid game, pretty much free farms that mid lane too. So I'm afraid that this window where Alk is maybe 1,000, 2,000 gold from Radiance, he's just not going to be able to hit any creeps.
Right, raise your hoods and call it, wizards. I want to see the hoods on as you make your guess. Wait a minute, hold on. A flashback before one more thing to think about. Yet again, an alchemist in the game. It is indeed an alchemist game.
It's an alchemist game.
Rich still freaking laughs about that every damn day. He just mentions it randomly.
All right, people.
Do we go with an alchemist game or do we go with a 36% Storm Spirit?
It is an alchemist game, but it is not his game to win. So I'll go with EG here.
Very well. Well, maybe you at home has found the secret histories of the magics indeed. We've no more time to discuss the mortal realm. Take us to the fields of unending carnage. Toodaloo, enjoy the game. We shall return. Zazaran!
Thank you, Slacks. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, it's EG versus Na'Vi here for the best of three. I'm ODPixel, joined by Jenkins for this series, and what do we reckon? We're getting some sort of new heroes. The Omni Knight coming into play, something that we aren't really seeing any team touch.
No, we talked about it a bit. You said it. It's definitely solid against the Magnus. Puppy said it himself. It's a good Magnus counter. Good against the Void. Excellent with an Alchemist. It's a hero debuff to give the strength to a strength hero. So if there's a game for it, this is the Omni Knight game. I actually like Na'Vi's draft here.
Yeah, I'm very excited to see him practice and see what the Omni Knight can do. I mean, this is a thing, right? In sort of the metas, when a hero becomes incredibly popular, like the Magnus, do you think there are sort of like hidden answers that the teams just may have not touched because the hero, in a sense, and in the way it's been nerfed or balanced, isn't great, but it actually has a lot of potential against these heroes that are starting to crop up at high popularity?
Yeah, 100%. Like I honestly think this is how the meta shifts, is through competitive matches like this. And what'll usually happen is you hit a point where, and I'm concerned that it might happen in this game for EG, where it's like you have this Ursa as a counter pick to the Omni to beat it in lane, and then maybe Ursa just sucks. Maybe Ursa's just worse in the current meta than Omni is in the current meta. And I mean, they're not even laning the matchup that they want. Omni is blocked.
They're going to start with the Alchemist on the top lane with the backup of Immersion on the support ET. Ilias as well, we'll see where he'll sell. I mean, do they sort of start as the tri lane with the pressure? I mean, Omni Knight on his own down here, is he happy to solo lane for a bit?
Yeah, definitely. Omni will be fine. See, what I'm concerned about is the Alchemist. You know, people would pick Ursa as an answer to the Alchemist, and so you're aggroing with him. So they're very confident that these supports can basically win the lane without any help, because Alk doesn't really provide much, to be honest.
Oh, here we go. In the mid lane, Young G on his Ember against the GPK Storm. We've seen GPK have some pretty impressive performances so far. Storm the other day, though, was off to an explosive start, but did start to fall flat in his face, so we'll see what he's able to do with it this time round. Top lane, aggression onto Immersion, and that's going to find them first blood there, EG. As Immersion getting a little too close, and sure, they've got a tri-lane on the aggressive Na'Vi, but the tri-lane of EG is also very good at turning and getting kills itself.
Yeah, man. Oh, Ilias, too. I don't think Crit has the stun up. Still a lot of harass. I mean, like you said, like this is a hard lane to play into. I mean, Ursa's a hero you would pick previously to try lane. Now they have an Enchantress with a creep, with a Wildkin against 2 melee heroes. Man, this is tough. And then Lion's a stunner. I mean, how can you go wrong?
Yeah, we'll see what Na'Vi is able to make happen with the idea behind this try. At the least, see if it's able to secure the farm. At the moment, doesn't look to be it. He's only got 1 CS, and again, Immersion stepping forward. Swipe start to stack up. He's going to be fortunate enough to not be in the reach of a crit and his stun this time, so he will live. But we're seeing already the farm for Arteezy. 8 for 3, only 2 CS on Crystallize. Jump over towards Immersion. Will be saved there, and he's able to remove the slow from the Earthshot, get Immersion out of it. But it does seem to be a rough start for this aggro tri lane of Na'Vi.
It does, but you know, Beast Coast is a team that actually does this frequently. And I think one thing you can take solace in is the fact that you always have the triangle to stack for the Alchemist. Like, he can always back up to that and just go farm. Like, he's right by the best place on the map to farm as a carry. So, worst case scenario, he can go there if this lane goes extremely south, which it's pretty rough so far.
On the bottom lane, of course, with all the action being up here with the 3 versus 3, we're getting this 1v1 between Pasha and Ramses. Mag and Omni Knight. At the moment, we're seeing Mag having the CS advantage, and sure, Omni's still farming, but I guess this is expected. What with the Empower, Magnus is going to have the better time and the easier time at getting the denies in this lane.
Yeah, I think a big thing there, too, is just that Omni is a relatively weak hero. Oh, Alchemist, be careful, buddy.
Got the stun into the X-Fly, heading over with the impetus as well, trying to run Crystallize out of this one. Can they save him? They can't. Ilias cannot hold back Arteezy in time as he finishes Crystallize off with an Earthshot. And this top lane just going from bad to worse for Na'Vi.
Honestly, I respect the decision. I think it's a very interesting choice to try to go for this. But I think if you're EG, you're very confused. You're like, they're aggroing with an Alk, but we have an Ursa. Like, we would maybe aggro into them. I think you're very stoked about this if you're an EG fan.
Oh, it's easy. Getting the free farm for now. And as you said, we'll see if they do start to create some stacks for Crystallize, start to build up that recovery mechanism for this Alchemist that is struggling so far in these first few minutes of it.
Yeah, and they haven't really been able to stop this Enchantress from getting her creeps. Usually, if you can block the camps, you're fine. She's not that big of a deal. But with Elder Titan dying so early, she just has free reign on those camps.
Mid lane, at the moment, pretty even CS between Young G and GPK. Slight lead for GPK on the Storm. 23-4 against the 19 for 2. Fly and found in the river. Ilias and Immersion will try and chase him down. They do hit him with the stomp, see if they can get position for the further bit of burst. Fly pops the Fairy Fire. He's also going to have another one in a few seconds. And even at that, he's able to get out of reach of the 2 of them. They just can't kill the Ench. This is the power of the Enchantress, right? It's a very hard kill to find. Doesn't matter, just level 2, just popping the heal, walking away. Unless you've got a significant amount of burst, Fly's going to be able to do that every time.
Hero that loves building Fairy Fires and has the early stick as well. He was holding the charges, so really not much of a kill threat there, and he knew it. So we do have level 6 now on Young G. He can't, or sorry, he's level 5 actually. I'm crazy, but he will have level 6 soon. And both of these heroes are relatively decent at rotating. I think we're going to need to see that more so from the Ember Spirit here to break down this game.
Oh, look at this bottom lane. It's actually started to go pretty one-sided now. 35 and 11 on Ramses compared to the 18 of 2 of Pasha. This Mag just nearly doubling the farm. Do have the stacks coming up, but this is going to be scouted out by EG, so they know the status of this area of the map.
If EG can take these stacks.
They've got the Mag, haven't they?
They've got the Mag, and they have Storm as well. Oh, man.
And Na'Vi's got to protect these or clear these up sometime soon. It's going to be hard, though, with the low levels on Crystallize. Just the 1 point and the spray right now.
There's going to be a big fight for these stacks very soon. This is the entire game plan for both teams at the moment.
You think there's no way that EG just let this go?
No, absolutely no way. And I think Young G knows that too, so he heads over.
Yep, he's going to be able to push Crit out of the area. Crit full turn with the stun. He's going to look for the denies. The creeps won't be able to make it. Ilias takes him out with the final Purifying Flames Duke.
Okay, so still saving it for the Alk. I was thinking maybe the Amber Spirit's going to take it just to prevent EG from getting it, but I think Alk needs the help. Crystallize is having a rough time. He really needs to get those stacks, and honestly, maybe even take solo XP if he can. Get that level 6.
GPK also able to get lucky with the power ins. DD will be his. They're looking at Youngji. There's no vision on the high ground, and Youngji's playing far too close to it. They're going to open up with the initiation from Crit. He's got the remnant out in time, though. They didn't quite have enough control. Youngji is able to make it away there with the 1 charges and the TP back to base to refuel his bottle. Well, that was living on the edge there, Youngji. It looked like he was a goner.
Very close to disastrous, especially because there's a siege creep mid, so they just take the tower if he dies there.
There we go. EG starting to push over towards these stacks. That stack's been already brought down a little bit, so GPK could actually clear this pretty easily with a few remnants. As Arteezy, GPK, and Crit, yeah, EG, they're going to be able to get the lion's share at this stack.
Yeah, they know the strat, you know, the Beast Coast classic. This is exactly what Beast Coast do, except a lot of the NA teams, the SA teams won't contest like EG will, but you know, EG, they sniff this out.
Now look at it was crystallized. Arteezy and Fly, they're not going to want to dive in though. Still knows backup sitting behind him. Bottom lane, Ramsey's getting got on. Get the skewer off, popping the RP as well, just to make sure that further purification cannot come out from Pasha, as Ramses will be able to keep himself alive because of it.
Man, he is so farmed on Magnus. I did not think this was going to be such a Magnus-favored lane. Like, Omni typically destroys melee heroes, right? So I think it just... There's definitely a player skill difference there that's happening, as well as Magnus has just been buffed and Omni Knight has been weak for a long time now. So not the great laner that he used to be with the low cooldown on his Q.
We'll see how Na'Vi can find ways to pick Crystallize's game back up. He's going to head to the jungle and the top lane. Now, with Arteezy having the serious levels, level 6 on the Ursa, it's a very scary place for the Alp to be. He's sort of just got to stick to the jungle now. This is going to give a lot of space for EG to make the most of the 3 lanes. And maybe look for action as well. They're going to try and go in with a grab on Youngji, but Immersion's there. Keeps him covered safely with the stomp.
I thought Ilias might die for that, but... Now, Crit doesn't know what he's walking up into, so he doesn't want to be too aggressive. Just farming now.
I see GPK going for that straight Orchid Rush again before the bots. Feeling that he's having a pretty good opening to this game, so just getting that silence online before any sort of defensive items are complete by the cause of Na'Vi.
Very greedy build, I would say. Definitely super punishable, but with how the game is going right now, they definitely have the space for it. Both of these 2 side lane cores are almost impossible to push out of lane.
I see Youngji and Ilias coming out with the smoke movement. They'll find Crit, and they will take him, and Crit is going to make him work for it. In fact, Crit with these disables is buying time. There are 2 more members of EG over here. They're not actually going to come across, and as it is, Youngji and Ilias just don't have the control to kill him. They will turn and look towards the bigger kill instead, though. Ramses, with the skewer cross, gets them in the stun. Ramses should still fall here, and he will do so. Ilias, with the Purifying Flames, they will actually end up picking up Crit as well. GPK is going to look for the cleanup in return. Turns over towards the Ilias kill, and will find it, so gets 1. See if they can get anything more here. GPK with a bit more mana left to play with, but doesn't want to go back in onto Youngji, not knowing what could be hidden behind him. But all things said and done, Na'Vi actually able to find a big kill on Ramsey. He's just coming a little too close to the action whilst he was very low on HP.
Yeah, a little surprising. He was kind of playing like he had more backup. I mean, between a level 4 Lion and Magnus without RP, they don't have much damage, really. Like, those are really beautiful double stuns from Crit, but still playing 2v2, and I think the Na'Vi 2 are a lot stronger.
Obviously 10-minute boundary is coming up. Youngji and Immersion, making sure that GPK is not able to get the refill on these. G, just want to go and try and grab this. Yeah, we'll be able to do so. Extra space made there by Immersion with the stomp. And build-wise this game, Youngji just going straight for the Yules. She sees that Oblivion Staff out, and GPK knows that he needs some way of removing that silence ASAP.
So they have a DD on GPK. I think this is probably the time to consider going for a smoke. I don't think you want to let Alchemist farm like this. Not when his game was so rough in the early game. They might be waiting for an item. They might be waiting for like Blink on Mag, maybe the Orchid on Storm. But very soon they want to start pressuring, I think, on EG.
Yeah, look at the drums done on Arteezy. He's very ready to run at heroes. There's mid lane as well. Fly and GPK with the DD making some pretty quick work off this tier 1 tower. Quick dodge of the stomp. Youngji has come in to start to build up a defense with Immersion. So if there's enough to push GPK away, GPK wanting to make sure that they can find that last hit on the tower. He's going to be able to get it as well. Tower down on the mid. more money into the pocket of GPK, which will continue to push him very close now towards the Orchid.
So normally, you don't really want to take these 2 towers as your first 2 towers in the game, but there's an Alchemist on the enemy team, so you want to take those Ancients away. You want to take the Triangle away from him, because that is the last beacon of hope for a team to farm, and that's all you need as an Alchemist. You farm there for 10 minutes, you're huge. So this lets them now move into the Na'Vi jungle, like you would in a typical game, and then Alchemist doesn't even feel safe in his Triangle.
Elias, he's going to step over to see what's going on around here, but there's a lot of members of EG. Got to be a little cautious. Immersion now joining forces with him to try and push EG out of this area, but as we've seen, they've already cleaned up all 3 camps. They'll start making the move as the 3 of them. As Ramses, again, went through this early farm that he has. Very beefy on the Magnus, can just show up in lanes, not worrying too much about any members of Na'Vi doing anything about it. Be able to protect that rune. It's going to be a regen. One of the dream ones here for GPK. We'll see if he's able to make some sweet plays with it. They're actually going in onto Young G. Young G, he's going to throw out a Remnant. See if they want to try and chase this. The Impetus will do a little bit of damage, but nothing to threaten him too much. Ilias also by his side, so no dives to come in, but still just controlling Na'Vi. EG continuing to keep all 5 members here just farming aggressively on Na'Vi's half of the map.
Right, once again, I really love this play to... Oh, I hear Storm.
I think he's just going for creeps.
Oh, he's just killing some creeps. Oh, he's got the regen, so he's using his mana. I really love their call to just stay in the triangle, because think about if you're an Alchemist in this game, you're farming your own jungle. With those 2 towers gone, like, you feel like you're out in the wilderness.
It's so tough for the out. And look at these 2 deep wards as well from EG, having one in the jungle, one over towards the entry point of the triangle. Like, they're going to be able to catch these movements. It's so hard for the out to get out and farm without EG knowing exactly where he is. Crit will be rushed down here. Na'Vi able to make the jump with this smoke movement. Fine crit. Obviously not really the ideal catch. And
oh, the space.
It's space and a half. Arteezy now with the Aegis.
EG is just playing so fast, honestly. Like I mean, it looks like Crit is running in and dying, but this is something that every top-tier support says that people don't do enough and that you should do, is sitting there and soaking smoke ganks. You know, and he's done it twice now. And just make them work for it with double stuns, with spells.
You see bottom lane, GPK instantly out on the map and ready to start making plays with that fast Orchid.
Very, very good way to kill both the Alchemist and the Omni if they're out. I think both of these heroes have so much effective HP. Without a line, it's basically impossible to kill them without that Orchid. Gives them a lot of options for killing people if he gets up.
They do at least have a few saves, Na'Vi. As long as Pasha or Ilias aren't the ones getting gone on, they'll have some methods of keeping the target of EG alive. Have a nice rune here for GPK, grabbing the Arcane. So now with the Arcane, the Orchid very ready to go. And a little bit of an adaptation to when we saw GPK play the Storm the other day. Went for a greedier build. They did suffer. They did lose that match. This time, Orchid straight into the BKB at the moment was what he's got queued up. He wants to make sure that he just doesn't, you know, he can continue to play aggressive with this Orchid rush without the threat of feeding his life away.
BKB definitely makes sense. I feel like not going for treads is just innately greedy, but BKB, if he just goes in on the Oracle, it just sets up for the Magnus to hit this huge RP, because he's going to be so disruptive. Young G, Crit can't solo kill him. There's no way.
No.
In fact, I think Crit's probably going to die here. They see the career.
Oh, no. Oh.
That was a mango tree, actually.
Oh, see, Crystallized getting saved here by the false promise. I mean, very hard for Na'Vi to really get a catch onto EG's members until Youngji comes over. Doesn't want to go with the slide chains onto Fly. He's going to turn over towards Arteezy, try and deal with him instead, but Artor pops the ult. Status resistance, meaning that there's no chance of Na'Vi committing onto him for those few seconds. Crystallize, he's still sticking around to try and farm it. Fly, able to come over, takes that big creep away. As EG again just sort of terrifying Na'Vi and pushing them right back towards their base.
EG, once again, is doing such a fantastic job at always just running at where the Alk wants to farm and taking farm away from him. Like, you don't see anybody on the EG side of the map farming. Because if you farm versus an Alchemist, you can have 10 Midases, and he's going to farm faster than you. That cannot be the game plan versus an Alk. You have to take farm away from him.
Yeah, I mean, you're right. I don't know when the last time a neutral creep on EG's half of the map died. They're just playing fully in the faces of Na'Vi. And look at the warding, it's just the amount of wards and sentries on Na'Vi's half of the map that EG have placed down. It's just made it a real nightmare for Na'Vi to regain any sort of control down here. Down bottom, they find the opening onto GPK. Silence is going to come out onto the AET to stop the follow-up stop, but it's not going to be enough to stop GPK from going down. Na'Vi with a big catch here on the Storm.
Yeah, he really has no way of dealing with getting just instantly chained by the Ember, and he doesn't have any effective HP right now, so he just dies to that. So getting punished a little bit for the greedy build there. Alchemist finally has his Radiance, but not much of the map to farm is the problem. That kill does help.
Yeah, and where he does farm, he's going to need to have backup constantly close by. As we see, tier 2s now starting to get pressured by EG. RTZ still got time to work with the Sages. Full Greaves done on Ramses to really buff up this fighting potential of EG right now.
I've always been a big fan of this build ever since, I think it was like Seb that did it first way back in the day, where you don't go for like the immediate blink on the offlane mag. You just play to 5-man, you play to fight, and it's like, well, I'm gonna hit an RP because you have to fight into us because we're running at your towers. And then eventually, of course, you do need the blink, but this is just really nice for 5-manning, which is exactly what EG want to do. They want to take towers.
Oh, mid lane. Attempt to be made onto Fly. Crit gets out the stun, but straight away, Pasha buffing Youngji up, allowing him to continue chasing onto Fly, but the heals are too strong with the silence on the Ember. Youngji cannot commit any further.
So the 5-man of Na'Vi does seem like it's a little bit difficult to break just because they have so much save. I don't think they can kill EG, but I think they can survive EG. As long as Ramses isn't there and doesn't have his blink. He has a casual glove faced. I wonder if he's actually going to turn that into something. Midas would be very interesting.
That would be a surprise. I feel like that was probably just one bit picked up in the laning stage early on, right?
Yeah, probably. Maybe he was going to finish the treads, and then he's like, oh, you know what? This is going to be a really good mech game. It's going very well. Let's 5-man. Let's take towers.
Yeah, it's just one of those things as well, right? It can feel like if you are going for the Greaves, you just miss that attack speed. You know, that little bit can make all the difference for just the feel of the hero. A smoke up for Na'Vi.
Always crit, man. He's always standing in front. It's so annoying.
They just can't catch EG off guard in this situation. Smoke's put to an end. EG moves over from the bottom lane towards the middle. This is where the last tier 2 stands for Na'Vi. I mean, we see these games as well where a team very quickly gets like one tier 2 and it's like, damn, they can go for the outpost. They got it before the 20-minute mark. In this game, EG's borderline taking all 3 of the tier 2s before the 20-minute mark.
Yeah, very not common, but you know, once again, I think it all goes back to that aggro try lane. Just generally, if you fail an aggro try, it always looks like this, no matter what, because you have no recourse. You can't go back to the safe lane and farm because there's a huge Magnus there. You can't throw 3 under-leveled heroes against a huge Magnus and expect it to work. Like, aggro tries are very hit or miss.
EG. Let's see what they can catch with their smoke. We didn't see Na'Vi have too much luck with theirs. We'll see if EG has a better shot. Youngji on the front. Light smoke will dispel. Actually going to turn Crystallize, trying to move in onto the Enchantress. The stun catches the 2 of them here. Throw the stun the way of Arteezy. Stop Arteezy from getting on top of the Merchant. Arteezy and GPK turn over towards Ilias. The GA has come out. Will give some safety for now for Na'Vi, but now with the GA coming to an end, EG just going to push on. The stacks building up on Crystallize as Arteezy commits with the BKB. Alchemist saves at the final moments by the false promise, but Ramses comes in with the RP onto the 2 of them. Crystallize, he's taking a lot of damage through this false promise, so will almost certainly pop at the end of it. No, the heals were enough. With the purification, Crystallize does live for a little longer, but finally falls to Arteezy's Earth Shock. Stops for crit, catches the 2 of them. Immersion's gone. Youngji, Pasha, and Ilias, can they turn this around? The Ember is being saved for now by Ilias. Youngji will be healed. The Purifying Flame starting to kick in. Youngji will remain alive. Ramses is trying to chase and hunt him down. There's no remnants left on Youngji. With the phase boots, he's got a fair bit of movement speed to continue to run away from this. CG, Shockwave, won't catch him here. They'll find him with the slow fly with the enchant. Youngji, 2 seconds till Remnant. Can he get his way out? Go for the self-yours, but didn't throw a Remnant out before he went up in the yours. That Remnant coming after as he misses the opportunity to maybe jump away, and will mean that he does end up going down at the end of it all.
Just everything on cooldown for him there, but man, that fight that fight just proves to me, like if I'm in this game, and I'm EG, it's just like, okay, we have to focus the Oracle. That Oracle out combo, how many hits of Fury swipes do we see Ursa?
That's what I felt. It was like the 10 stack, you know, they were building up real time.
Blow him up, get him out of here.
Oh, but the heals. Ilias, he's going to be saved. Pash is able to come in with the safety, and now GPK has committed a lot of mana for this. The root's going to fly over. Crystallize building up the concoction. A GPK with the bolt charges and the 1 charges will have enough to get away. Stomp out onto Crit, but no follow through.
Man, this double save lineup with the Alk is looking like it could possibly be enough in this game.
Okay.
Dude, especially with the Heaven's Halberd coming out too. He is going to be a pain to kill, because remember, that amplifies his regen with an Oracle who also amplifies the regen.
And look at Arteezy's build because of this. He says, right, I'm getting Nullifier, right? Is that the plan here?
Yeah, I guess so. Nullifier, what does this take off here? I guess the Guardian Angel? That's
GA?
The GA.
That's the big one, right? It's going to allow him to at least continue doing damage through the GA.
Yeah. I think you could take off maybe like the Oracle W? The Oracle Q.
You take off the Purifying Flames.
Yeah, oh yeah, that's true.
So there's going to be no constant heals.
Right, no heal whatsoever. Actually, I think that's probably what it's for. It's probably for mostly the Purifying Flames. And the GA, yeah, it's a good nullifier game. It's weird at first just because it's like, well, the Oracle ulti's still gonna work obviously, and so is the You can't nullify the Omni W, but I guess that's also true. If the Omni puts his W on somebody before the nullifier's not gonna last any duration.
No, right?
Because of the status resist.
The status resistance would, the buff would affect the duration of the nullifier.
Yeah. So who goes on who in this game matters a lot.
Yeah. Well, we'll see how much effect it does have. I mean, you can definitely feel I feel like it's going to do something, you know, for Arteezy without a doubt. It doesn't mean
100%. Yeah.
And you know, especially when the team fights, it's not a 5v5. You find someone alone, the nullifier Ursa will be able to tear them apart.
Yeah, definitely. I think if you jump the Oracle with the Orchid and then just jump somebody else with Arteezy with the nullifier, I think that's a very solid way to play team fights.
I've got the full ether lens on Kritzer. An additional way to try and get the catch on these backliners, these heroes with the saves.
God, Fly is just playing so aggressive here. They're afraid though. They know he's baiting. I mean, who stands this close without a full team behind him? But he's kind of on his own. He's just bluffing.
Yeah, Roshan's up again. So EG quickly moving into the pit. And I don't see any lineup with an Ursa with this sort of lead. It's not going to be contested at all. Very quick Roshan, which will push Arteezy rather close to having that relic. Just about 1,400 to go, and it'll be there. Cheese for GPK and Aegis for Arteezy for this next fight.
It's the nice thing about having an Ursa on your team, or it can actually be a downfall as well. Like if you take Roche so early that early on into the game you get these like Refresher Shard, Cheese Roches, where if this goes the other way and Na'Vi takes the next Roche, you're gonna kind of regret having an Ursa on your team.
Let's see if the smoke from Na'Vi can find anything. It's going to be difficult though, fighting into the Aegis and Cheese. Young G maybe seeing if he can find a snipe on the back lines. Crit. Not going to be found. Young G just backing up to the base, ready for the high ground defense. Arteezy popping the ult. Hold him in place for now with the sleep, but he's out of there. They got what they came for. Tier 3 tower taken down at the 24-minute mark. Na'Vi are trying with the chase. You'll set up from Young G. Arteezy continuing to run. Pasha buffing up Crystallize, but EG already backing up and no further way for Na'Vi to chase. They do have the Blink Dagger on Crystallize, so an extra bit of follow-up, especially if Young G's able to get in with the slight chains. Crystallize will have a solid chance at following up with a full duration concoction.
Yeah. It's been a while since this concoction build has been popular, but I suppose with the recent buffs, I think both of the concoction talents got buffed, and maybe the spell did too. So I see why it's coming back to some degree. Oh, he's going.
He's going to try for Ramses. Leading in if they got the damage to take him out though. Ramses able to skewer off in time. The root holds him in place. Crystallize punching desperately, trying to bring him down. One more would do it. Can he find it? He can. The Radiance burn damage will get the kill. Now Crystallize having to pop the ult and start a retreat. Another concoction beginning to cook up. Crystallize gets it down to Arteezy. Arteezy popping the ult. Status resistance will remove the stun pretty quickly. Na'Vi continuing to try and fight up, but now he turns. Looks to go in onto the Alchemist, but in fact the Alchemist just turns and goes on the win. That's Arteezy's Aegis gone. Na'Vi, can they do it a second time? There'll be a buyback from Crit. Now they'll start to retreat. Crystallize's ult coming to an end. RTZ moving in with the Nullifier. Crystallize is going to be saved for now by the Gia, but the Nullifier does persist and take it off. He's going to continue to run, able to blink off to the side. Throws the concoction out onto Crypt, but GPK with the BKB is starting to clean things up. They turn back over towards the out. Crystallize has the chemical ray, but now it finishes, and he turns the ult from Immersion, though. It comes down for the entire team, crashing through them all. GPK, enough mana to pull out there, but Young G, he's on the chase. Another Remnant now. He's actually going to be able to close the gap onto the Storm. Crystallize in with a blink, then found GPK. Na'Vi, they're fighting back up. They were down at 11k, but coming in there on the mid. And again, it's as you said earlier, you were like, you know, does this potential of the out just being consistently buffed by the Oracle and OmniKnight have some sort of power that could allow them to do it? And it did. They couldn't kill Crystallize. Even with the use of the Nullifier, I'll be honest, it did look underwhelming. It didn't seem to do much at all for Arteezy in this fight. It didn't really help that much at all against the Alchemist with all these constant buffs and saves coming out on him.
It's too much. It's too much, and you have the status resist of the Heaven's Halberd as well, right? So that's going to reduce the effect of the Nullifier. You have the status resistance coming from the Heavenly Grace. There are just too many saves, man. And Na'Vi also, kudos to them, man, because they're not just using them, like they are really baiting EG into going on this Crystallized Alchemist here.
Yeah, this is some insane stuff from Na'Vi. I mean, again, you know, they were, their whole map being controlled by EG for pretty much the entirety of this 20 minutes that we've just seen. They were behind 11k whilst having an Alchemist. So, you know, that 11k deficit is even greater because you have an Alch. You expect to have inflated net worth with that hero.
Right.
And now they've managed to punch back at EG pretty heftily.
It's a good draft. It's legitimately a good draft. Ursa is seeming extremely underwhelming. GPK just seems like he's constantly out of mana, constantly running away. The Bloodstone will help, but man, it's not what it once was. That item.
Yeah, the Oracle Omni. This combo. I mean, what's the plan for EG? Just absolutely have to find these two heroes at the start of the fight? It feels like if you don't, you're just never going to kill the cause.
It's one of these games where if this is a pub, there's literally zero chance for Dire to win. Because you have to execute team fights so precisely. I think they need to catch Oracle or Omni in an RP without Heavenly Grace, and then either crit or GPK jumps the Oracle. Like, they're going to need to execute 2 backline jumps simultaneously, but Na'Vi is doing so well at staying far apart from each other and putting the Alchemist in the front. And also the Ember. Young G, he's always in the front as well. He's being very annoying. He's catching the Storm, forcing the Storm to use his mana.
Oh, this will be a freebie. Easy kill for Crystallize, set up there by Young G, and Young G in all sort of the control that EG has had playing on their half of the map. You know, Young G's, he's not been caught out. He's only died the once this game on the Ember. A very, very solid performance from him.
Absolutely, absolutely. He's kind of functioning like a little bit of a bait for the Alchemist. Like, he made a lot of space for this hero early, and it looked kind of funny, but naturally that's going to be how it looks when you're making space for somebody, and it's paying off.
And you're a fan of this as well? You saw just there, Immersion, he's more than halfway towards his Aghanims on the ET.
Yeah, that's a nice item. I think Aghanim's ET is just something that's been straight up overbuffed in the past. Having that BKB on obviously a much lower cooldown than the actual BKB it lets him disrupt. It lets him be so annoying in these team fights, and he wants to put his body in there because it gives that physical reduction.
Oh, Ramses staying very close to Na'Vi here, but no vision down from Na'Vi. Still EG having the superior war control in Na'Vi's jungle. They'll get away with this, and they'll be able to make sure that 30 minutes in, again, they will hold control of both outposts, EG.
I am seriously concerned for EG in terms of I don't see where they get the damage to kill this Alchemist.
Sure. Like this Alchemist has absolutely got all the tools to just carry this game right now, Crystal.
Absolutely, because I mean, he's getting more and more farm, right? He's going to out-farm you, right? So by the time they get the items to deal with what he currently has, he has 2 more items. Now he has the space to actually farm. So it's not like the early game where, okay, they're just snowballing and so they can kill him. Like, how does an Ursa get the damage to kill him if he's not already killing him? Like Monkey King Bar? Rapier? It's on an Ursa. I don't know how great that is. It's looking tough for them. They're going to need to get some really nice pick-off, I think. That's how you fight this, is you don't fight it. You just go pick-offs.
Considering, you know, how the game's gone so far, 30 minutes in, do you think, you know, Na'Vi as a side, did they sort of, were they ready to sort of lose that early game and fall behind as much as they did? Do you think this is a strat that Na'Vi has and has worked on that is built to deal with those sort of deficits and come back into it?
I think they probably didn't want to lose the aggro. I think they probably expected to do better in that. But I think the value that they put on giving the Omni Knight solo XP, it is clearly paying off. Like, he is doing so much work saving in these fights. And if he was just useless because he was against an Ursa,
Crystallize. He's going to come in, the Lotus Orb out in time. Arteezy's popped the ult. Root comes out afterwards, though, into the sleep. It's a long hold onto Arteezy. They're moving in onto the Ursa. And they lock it down any further. Arteezy has to put the BKB in retreat. He's got to run.
so does a level 3 ult. Now that that's been nerfed, if you do bait out the Ursa ult in the early levels, it can be a place for you to make a play because it's got such a long cooldown now. But the BKB, that's a big deal here. If he has that on a, you know, if it's only lasting 5 seconds, it's a lot easier for the Alc to kill the Ursa. Like, he was, man, Arteezy's looking mega useless in these fights. He cannot do anything. He is not doing any damage.
It's just so hard for him to find a target. Up in the river, set up onto GPK. He's out with the root before the root hits him. And the Lotus Orbs will certainly assist here as Ramsey's, just as we see with the build, he's starting to go for as much as he can to just keep his team alive. The Greaves, the Lotus. There's the build for Immersion, though. The Axe is now complete. So, you know, now Immersion, he himself, he's definitely not an easy target for EG to go on. You know, as we said already, they're probably going to be considering Pasha and Ilias higher on the list of who they need to find. But this ET, he's just going to be sitting in the fight, putting up a lot of damage, having magic immunity, and just walking around punching everybody, and obviously offering so much up with the Aura and the Earth Splitter.
Oh, man, if they can get... Oh, he blinks it. Okay.
Ramsey's quick reaction. Can they punish this out? They're going to try. GPK zipping in. He's looking for the backlines. Pops the BKB, goes straight away onto Ilias. He's not going to be able to finish him off, though. Ilias able to sneak out to the side with the invis. GPK turns over towards Crystallize, but you can feel it. EG know they cannot kill this out. They're starting to have to back away. Arteezy pops the BKB. He'll turn to try and punch into the Crystallize Alchemist, but he's having to use this BKB again to retreat. He's having to run. He's got to get out of it. This Na'Vi will continue to chase him. Skewer from Ramses. He's trying to find an opportunity for an RP, but the bash comes out. Ramses is out. Crit just hiding and hoping they don't find him. Crystallize, he's hunting for more. Arteezy's out to the side. It's just EG. They're just running away. That's all they can do.
Oh my god.
He's going for the chapping.
Oh! Crystallize! Oh my god, he actually survived.
He's away.
Are you serious? I can't believe. Oh, dude.
I mean, but this is just EG on the run. They just have to run away.
Yeah, man, this is definitely Na'Vi's game to throw. It seems like EG does not have the tools. Like, they're going for the Oracle now. They're going for the Omni Knight. Like you said, they know they can't go on Pasha.
Yeah, as soon as the start of the fight doesn't result in Ilias or Pasha dying, EG's... we have to get out. We can't fight.
Yeah, but even if they get out on one of them, it's like the one saves the other, and now they have Glimmers, and they have Halberd, and they have this Aghanim Scepter on their Elder Titan, so he can run in and he can be disruptive. Like, they couldn't focus him. It is seeming very rough, and I think if you're EG, I legitimately think you probably question the nullifier pick after this game. You think, okay,
it's just not done anything.
It hasn't done anything. I think maybe it could have been an Abyssal. Maybe it could have been a Monkey King bar for more damage because they clearly lack damage, but it has not felt useful. Like, Arteezy has not had a single good fight in 15 minutes. I mean, EG hasn't, so of course Arteezy hasn't.
We'll see what they can do with this smoke. EG, I mean, they're running straight at this. Na'Vi, they've got all their ults ready to go on the high ground. Youngji just outside of the edge of the vision. Arteezy heads in. They'll jump to the side. I mean, Na'Vi, they're grouped up as 5. This is a hard fight for EG to start. They do have the high ground with the smoke, but Na'Vi are prepared. They're, again, just moving around the map, grouped up as 5. How do you even penetrate this team? You just can't get to the back lines.
They ping it out too. They know exactly where EG is. Like, this spot is literally called the fly spot. Like, the pro players refer to it as the fly spot because he's so well known for making this call to fight around it. And so they ping it, and it looked like they were maybe going to go in there with the Alchemist going first, but they just say, you know what? We know they can't fight us. Why fight into them? Like, let them come to us. They can't fight us as long as we stay as a unit.
And Na'Vi just holding strong as the 5. The net worth back to even now as Na'Vi just continue to swing this game further and further towards their favor. Crystallize, he's ready to charge and goes in with the jump, looking to blow up Fly, gets the stun on the boat, Fly and Arteezy flies out, Abyssal Blade onto Arteezy, can they save him? He's able to get the ult out, jumps to the side, looks for Pasha, he's ended up chilling on the high ground. Ramses comes in with the skewer, RP, it's only going to catch Crystallize, they just don't have the damage to kill him. We see GPK turn, trying to deal with Ilias on the backline, but Ilias, he's able to get the false promise off in time, he'll survive. EG's lost 2, they've got to bail, EG's got to run yet again. As this whole game has just been EG running away. 3 of them won't make it as Young G comes in with a slight triple kill for him. I mean, the frustrations have got to be high on EG. They must be sitting there asking each other, what do we do? What can we do? We can't do anything. And Jenkins, you know, I sort of laughed at you. We're like, oh, one of the downsides of Ursa killing Roche twice, you give the chance for a quick Aegis or refresher shard Roche, potentially the enemy team. But you're right, Jenkins, that's exactly what's happened. 36 minutes in, Na'Vi, they're able to easily get themselves the 3rd Roche.
What do they get for this? This is a refresher?
Let's have a look what he drops.
Aghanims. Okay.
Aghanims.
Global Ags ult. Oh, okay. I thought they were going to give it to the Omni, but for Ember, of course, this is a fantastic Ags. I mean, he's doing so much in terms of disrupting these fights.
Young G.
He's breaking smokes. He's running in, getting fights started. He's going on the back lines. He's protecting he's protecting Ilias. Like, him having the Ags is not going to make this any easier for EG. It's safe to say.
No. And I guess that's the thing as well, you know, with the positioning of Na'Vi, they don't really need the Axe on the Omni because they're always together as 5. They've constantly been just in a position that's just not allowed EG to do anything. EG cannot fight this squad.
Nobody is ever alone, but they're far enough away from each other that they're not getting double RP'd or double stunned. Because I think, once again, going back, the way that you need to execute this fight is... okay, actually, I think this is Navi's Mango Tree. I'm pretty sure it is. Or is it EG's? What's the vision at? No, it's not. Okay, so it is EG's. I see. So that's an interesting little spot that they're using that to play around. Like, at this point in the game, that's a really good spot to... I mean, you would hope that the game doesn't go this late against an Alchemist, right? You'd hope to have won this game so far. But anyway, going back, I think if you're EG, you have to simultaneously initiate on the Omni and the Oracle. And Na'Vi has not let that happen a single time.
They just... Every single fight has just been perfect for Na'Vi. I don't know what necessarily is about it that's meant it's been impossible for EG to ever start with the pickoffs that they want to, but they just haven't. I mean, that last fight we saw GPK, he got close to killing Ilias, but he was the only one on him, and Ilias, he was able to get false promise off on himself, and at that point, you sort of committed all your mana for a kill that you didn't get.
And Fly is dead. Yeah, I love how they're playing as a unit, but not so much of a unit that the Magnus is just hitting these crazy RPs. Like, we literally just saw Crystallize get RP'd in the last fight.
And it didn't matter.
That is the worst possible hero because he's got all of the status resist. He's got all of this regen. He's got 61 regen, and he doesn't have his ult up. That's insane.
What are you going to do about it?
Absolutely nothing.
They've got to do something. I mean, he's taking this tier 3 tower down. I mean, maybe with some sort of deep skewers, they can get him in deep, away from the backup. But he's just taking the base right underneath their noses. EG, what are they going to do? This is the melee race going. Is anybody home? Here we go. Skewer. In onto the Alchemist. They're trying to drag him back. Again, the save's there. I mean, they know. They just can't go at him. As Crystallize, he's just taking this Rax, and EG's got nothing. They've got nothing to stop it.
Courier! Oh, boy.
Wait, how did the courier end up?
He just runs it. Arteezy runs a golden Roche into him.
Peace offering. Yeah, yes. Please, have mercy. Oh, take the chicken.
There will be no mercy in this game. None at all.
Wow, 12k lead now for Na'Vi. I mean, honestly, Jenkins, it looks impossible for EG. It looks impossible.
It does. I hate to keep saying it, but it looks really, really hard. Oh, man, they need to do some crazy smoke wraparound. I think at this point, it's not even about simultaneously initiating. I don't think that's enough. A pickoff would be a nice start.
I mean, Young G gets got, he'll just start running them. He's got the Aegis.
That's something, you know, that's more than they've been getting for the last 25 minutes of this game, so I think EG's probably happy with that. Goodness gracious. Yeah, you need to hit some sort of miracle reverse polarity in order to win this. I don't think it's enough to just execute the team fight decently. That's not enough.
And it really, this strat from Na'Vi, this draft, it seems very impressive. You know, they have very little control in the early game, but they brought it back, and now they just look untouchable. To the stage that I imagine in further drafts against Na'Vi, you're not letting this squad having Alk, Omni, and Oracle together. Otherwise, you know you're going to be in for a very tough time.
You know, at the end of this game, I wanted to say, you just can't pick an Alchemist against an NA team. They know how to deal with it. Everybody in that region is obsessed with Alchemist. They know how to deal with heroes that are farming, and EG did that. But you know what they don't deal with? What they can't deal with is the aggression that is coming out from this Alchemist. That is something you don't see in North America. He is right in. He is always in the front. That is not a North American style Alchemist right there.
Now, Crystallize just having full trust in his team. Just able to charge forward and just continue to take these things on the map. I mean, EG, they're sticking together. They're hanging around Arteezy top. They're just not able to accomplish anything right now.
I'm sitting here looking at this, and I don't even think they have enough damage with a 5-man RP to kill everybody in the RP. I think they need a refresher if they want to kill people. A pick-off though, that's a good start.
See if they can get the jump. Looking towards Immersion. They'll lead him with that Hex. Crit having the extra cast range now that he's hit the talent. They'll go with another fire onto Immersion, but Crystallize, he's already just jumping in the back lines. Ramsey tries to screw away, but Crystallize is back up with the Abyssal. Takes out Crit. Now the turnover on the Pasha. He's saved again. The false promise comes out over the Omni Knight, GPK and Arteezy. They're trying to beat into Crystallize. Crystallize just starts to punch back. Arteezy's BKB about to come to an end. They will manage to kill off Pasha. Crit comes in with the 2-man double, the Star Splitter from Immersion. Catches both GPK and Arteezy. Arteezy's out for 100. GPK as well. Ramsey's trying to run, but Crystallize and Young G chase him down. The stomp from Immersion catches him out as Young G and Crystallize head in to finish the kill. Triple kill for the out. Crit, he is not going to get out of this one, as Young G will have the means to chase this down for sure. As Crit, he'll try to hide with the Glimmer, but the slight change finds him. EG just getting destroyed in every single fight now for the past 20 minutes.
Man. Na'Vi coming into this game, proving everybody wrong.
Dude, you gotta check those odds on this game. It was something like 5 on Na'Vi.
Somebody made bank on this game.
There's a very happy Na'Vi fan out there.
Very happy. Goodness gracious.
As well, they couldn't do anything when they have 5 alive on the bottom lane, EG. They're probably not going to be able to do anything when they have 1 alive. As Na'Vi take a second set of racks.
Feels so hopeless at this point. At this point, you're honestly just talking about the next game. Honestly, I think you can probably just throw him before Arteezy's alive here.
Yeah. Having a buyback comes out from Ramses. They do have the fortification. Quick slight and change stops Ramses from being able to try for a blink skewer opportunity as Crystallize just continues to look to close this one out. Takes the tier 4. They'll give a little bit of respect to safety as Big Zip comes in for GPK. Won't find a catch. I mean, I think if you're Na'Vi, you probably know that you've got this one in the bag. Do you want to end it quickly, or do you want to make this one hurt for EG? You want to draw this one out.
Yeah, I think you go for the psychological damage for the next game.
That's the big play for Na'Vi now. Just take your time.
I cannot foresee a future where EG doesn't ban Alchemist. I don't think they want to get Alchs again. This to me just proves that Na'Vi, like, they know how to play this hero in and out. Like, a lot of teams will just feed relentlessly when Alchemist falls behind. Yeah, he doesn't have a jungle.
This lineup just looks incredibly well rehearsed from Na'Vi.
It does.
This is an exact 5 heroes that I imagine they've been hitting up in scrims, and they know exactly what to do. Just the team play, it's flawless from Na'Vi here.
It's like they're an AI, and they're all, it's one sentient being playing all of the heroes at the moment, at least for the last 30 minutes. Don't think anybody expected this, especially after how the lanes went.
Yeah, I mean, you saw that in the win probability. This game, about 15 minutes in, was about 70% for EG, and as we talked about, it was 20 minutes in, EG had taken like all the tier 2 towers. Like, they're sort of the stats on teams that lose that much map control that early on, but are able to pick it back up and just dominate the second half. Like, this does not happen every day.
It does not.
And the fourth Roche.
Fourth Roche with a DD on Alchemist.
I mean, I feel like it's, if you're EG, what do? You just let this go, or do you just throw your lives in here? I mean, if you're not going to stop this Roche from going down, when are you going to stop him?
I think you have to try to steal the Aegis. I don't think you can fight. I think you legitimately go for the Aegis steal. Like, that is your only play here.
EG charging in Ramses. He's going to look to skewer the Crystallized out outside of the pit. Crystallized gets the ult off in time. Silence sounds to Pasha. They found the Pasha with the silence, but they just don't have the damage inside the pit. Roshan goes down, but Young G's able to pick up the Aegis. Arteezy's down for 100 seconds. No buyback. The chase here from Na'Vi, forcing EG away from the pit. The stomp will catch out Ramses. GPK is all the way back to base, but Ramses will be left behind. They tried for EG there, their last option, and they'll tap out. GG is called as Na'Vi, with a spectacular showing in this game one, just leave EG in a position for that final 30 minutes with nothing they could do. EG looked the most helpless they've looked in